Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, WWE 2K25 Showcase Part 2.
Hey, let's put this in the simplest of all terms. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the biggest celebrity on the face of the planet today. Now, whether he's a blue chipper, the people's champion, or as we know him right now, the final boss.
There we go, guys, this is Rocky Maivia.
Has always commanded all of the attention in the arena since the very first moment he made his WWE debut at the 1996 Survivor Series. Born into this business, The Rock would become WWE's first ever third-generation superstar, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. Who had competed in WWE rings before him.
Dwayne, you had a huge responsibility. There's a legacy, and you have to take it so seriously.
Even with incredibly high expectations, the Great One surpassed them all. Along with the usual achievements, if your name is The Rock: 2 Intercontinental Championships, 5 Tag Team Championships, 8 WWE Heavyweight Championships, a Royal Rumble victory, not even to forget the fact that The Rock once led an entire nation. The Rock has one of the more noteworthy feats in WWE history, earning WrestleMania victories over Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena. Each of these men
I might find a way to get the 2K16 and do the showcase on that, and 2K15. I'm thinking about it.
When you go one-on-one, oh, you know the rest. Of course, The Rock rivaled Stone Cold Steve Austin's popularity during the vaunted Attitude Era, tearing opponents down with rock bottoms and people's elbows.
Oh, they had to have that one in there.
Them apart on the mic with cutting one-liners and catchphrases that are still recited to this day.
If you smell, know your role and shut your mouth.
He ended CM Punk's 434-day title reign as WWE Champion at the 2013 Royal Rumble as well, after having only competed twice over the previous 9 years, displaying the always ready mentality and physical conditioning on which he has built his global brand. But you don't need me to rattle off The Rock's resume to you, now do you? Of course not. The man is an occasion unto himself. He has headlined the biggest events against WWE's most iconic superstars and has always found a way to, how does he put it? Layeth the smackdown on some jabroni's candy ass. I couldn't have said it better myself, although I think I may have just done that. But indeed, he has. On a Thursday night in February of 1997, The Rock, still known as Rocky Maivia, would find himself challenging for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Only a few months into his tenure, he would be matched up against a face that would ultimately become one of his most familiar and hated rivals, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Seemingly overmatched by a more seasoned opponent, a youthful Rock would demonstrate all the traits that have come to define him in the years since. Tenacity, high IQ, and that legendary Samoan strength to ultimately surprise Helmsley and kick off the first championship reign for Rocky Maivia. It would be the first step of a journey that has ultimately led The Rock into the pantheon of WWE's elite. So now it's all in your hands. It's up to you to showcase the undying drive that makes The Rock the hardest worker in the room to deliver a shocking upset against the Greenwich snob himself. guide The Rock to victory over Triple H at a very special Thursday, Raw Thursday, to give the first jolts to what would become the most electrifying career in sports entertainment.
Let's go.
And here comes the #1 contender, at least for tonight, Rocky Maivia.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Making his way to the ring is the challenger from the South Pacific, weighing in at 275 pounds, Rocky Maivia.
A blue chip talent with a bright future.
On his way to defend the Intercontinental Championship, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
His opponent from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 246 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Helmsley is scheduled to face another challenger at an upcoming show this Sunday. And he's taking the risk, stepping in here against the newcomer, Rocky Maivia.
Well, you can consider it risky, you can consider it overconfident, but any way you look at it, it's a dangerous move by Helmsley to take on an athlete who has been on a real roll. Rocky Maivia has been successful thus far in WWE, and Rocky is focused. Rocky is only thinking about tonight.
Saxton, just curious, have you ever exercised your right to remain silent? I am tired of all this talk about Rocky Maivia. Yeah, he's been on a roll, but it could all come to a screeching halt tonight at the hands of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Desire and resolve will be tested tonight, all for the right to claim the championship.
Here we go.
The Intercontinental title hangs in the balance. Tonight in a match between our refined champion, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the young challenger, Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Maivia has a lot to prove here. The third-generation up-and-comer would love nothing more than to grab his first championship tonight and send a message to the WWE that Rocky Maivia has arrived.
But Hunter Hearst Helmsley will do everything
From the apron.
What? Risking it all and able to connect like a homing missile.
Delivered into the barricade.
And we know Rocky doesn't have the same experience as Helmsley, and that could be a developing story as this match progresses.
And this is where an experienced wrestler like Helmsley can take a young wrestler and pick him apart, take advantage, capitalize, and win.
And Rocky there not showing any signs of being intimidated. And Rocky is delivering solid damage, but needs to remember to get Helmsley in the ring. The title can't be...
Uh-oh, the Cobra clutch is applied.
And would you look at that? He just let go of the submission.
Maybe he did the damage he meant to do and has something else in mind now.
Counters right back on Rocky.
Come on, come on, come on!
Reversals happening here.
And conspicuous by his absence is the butler of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who has been intervening in matches as of late. Who knows if he might show up?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just another thing Maivia needs to worry about.
Rocky has bigger problems in the ring, gentlemen. Biggest match he's ever had. Live, worldwide television. He's got to have a stomach full of butterflies.
From way out, double axe handle connects. And give credit where it's due. Rocky Maivia is leaving nothing in the ring in pursuit of the Intercontinental Championship. Smothering offense now from Rocky.
The power of Rocky Maivia is too much for Helmsley right now.
Down with the vertical suplex. Oh, attacked in the midsection.
Turns that away. Oh, vicious body shot. Right to the gut. Looks like Rocky is locked in on his opponent.
Come on, dude. Here we go. Cutscene
Hunter
time.
whipped into the corner, nobody home. Rocky hit hard. And now Hunter looks to take over this match.
Helmsley muscling Maivia up to the top turnbuckle and a big right hand.
Helmsley with something big in mind here for his challenger tonight.
Well, this is just blatant disrespect from the arrogant champion.
Almost daring Rocky. Hey, you really want my title? You really think you're going to be Intercontinental Champion?
Up to the top. Hooking Rocky into a superplex. This could be it. Can Hunter capitalize? This could be it. Hook of the leg and a cover. And Rocky stays in it, getting his shoulder up.
Still not enough to put out the flame of Rocky Maivia.
Hunter has to be asking himself, what else do I have in my arsenal? And I think we may get our answer, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, I believe, before this one's over. Hunter hooking Rocky, taking his time, looking to put him away.
Maivia just collapsed.
This just shows you how much damage Hunter Hearst Helmsley has inflicted on the challenger in this matchup.
I think Maivia
Going for the pedigree again.
Official might want to step in, call this one.
The official checking on Rocky. Hunter Hearst Helmsley believes this is close to being over. Lifting him back up again. Rocky.
And that's it.
Shoulders down. Rocky wins the title.
Rocky Maivia has shocked Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Here is your winner and the new Intercontinental Champion, Rocky Maivia.
We have a new
Wow.
Intercontinental
Dude, this showcase is so
Champion.
sick, man. Next match, here we go.
In a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers, the final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss, there wouldn't even be a bloodline, if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler.
Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele.
We'll see which prevails tonight.
Here we go.
Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them. George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost the match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage. Ooh.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steele. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steele makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself in WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui. Oh man! George with great awareness.
Placed him in the corner here. Big impact. Piercing chop. Double leg takedown.
Bro.
Stacked them up here. Beautiful. Might sneak.
What was that? He had him exactly where he wanted him.
Peter Maivia just rubbing it in now.
Yeah, I know all about this.
Take off.
Okay, 2K.
High risk. Solid punch. Gentlemen, with these two trading one blow after another. Ooh.
It looks like we've got ourselves a brawl here.
The fight is on, and it's furious.
Ooh.
Exhaustion setting in, and neither one of them is letting up.
This is a war of attrition, with neither superstar wanting to be the one who surrenders.
You can feel the contact, and so does the WWE Universe. What a shot!
The WWE Universe is pouring more fuel on his fire right now. Have to dig deep if you want to reach the top of the cage.
Trying to make their way out of the cage.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how does he earn the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawai family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the ink that covers his body.
Tremendous pressure on the head and neck. Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh! Oh, here we go. Headbutt to the gut! When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, steel up.
And look at this now. Bad intentions coming.
Stone puller!
And he just decides to end the hold.
Wonder what he's thinking here.
Slowly getting back up, and he is not going to like what's next.
Thorn drop!
Oh, God. Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
Oh, he countered it.
And Steele isn't looking helpless anymore.
But George has to push now while the window's open. Oof. But here comes the fire.
George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination.
Going forward again.
Oh.
Does Peter Maivia have this sewn up?
Let's go!
The animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is...
Let's go, next match, baby.
She's not like most girls. She's also not like most WWE superstars. Nia Jax, the reigning queen of the ring, is a reckoning, a force of nature that blitzes right through her competition. A cousin of The Rock, Nia Jax arrived in NXT almost 10 years ago with astronomical expectations. Undaunted, Nia Jax would dominate early opponents, finding herself competing for the NXT Women's Championship mere months after her debut. It did not take long for those running Raw and SmackDown to take notice.
Well, our next pick, Nia Jax.
And Nia Jax would join the Raw roster as part of the 2016 Draft Lottery. And since joining the main roster, absolutely no one has been safe from Nia Jax. She is a two-time women's champion. She is a two-time women's tag team champion. She competed in the men's Royal Rumble match in 2019, even getting an elimination while in the ring.
Nia Jax looking to eliminate. She does.
She's battled standouts like Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. And all the while, she has left undeniable destruction in her wake. In the ring, she applies many of the same tactics that once benefited Yokozuna, even using her own version of the Bonsai Drop, known as the Annihilator. And just like its namesake, if it connects, your night is over. And Nia Jax remains driven for even more success, jumping at any opportunity to prove her dominance. This last year, that included entering into the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament after earning victories over Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Nia Jax would fight her way into the finals, taking on former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria built a lot of momentum, defeating Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky to punch her ticket into the final at the Queen and King of the Ring. With an obvious game plan, Lyra would look to stick and move, avoiding the colossal attacks of her opponent. Unfortunately, as often happens when competing against Nia Jax, Lyra made one miscalculation, and that error in judgment provided Nia Jax with the opening she needed to annihilate her competition. This is your opportunity to crown the first queen in Bloodline history. Make Lyra suffer. Make her regret ever entering your ring. Showcase the otherworldly power that forces an entire roster to cower in your presence. Because when you're an irresistible force like Nia Jax, resistance is futile.
Here we go.
And now a dark horse will face an unforgiving titan in hopes to don the crown. Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax in the Queen of the Ring Finals.
The following is the final match in the Queen of the Ring Tournament. Introducing first, from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
I cannot.
Lyra Valkyria fancies herself a Morgan, which is an Irish goddess of war. As they were on the battlefield, they used to take the shape of ravens to fly around and decide who would live and who would die. That is what Lyra Valkyria is bringing to the ring here tonight.
And her opponent, from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria may have read a little too much fantasy in her day, and now is reality. Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to-toe with a real-life, fire-breathing dragon in the form of Nia Jax. Nia Jax, who's in the best physical condition of her career, tonight will make someone. Will it be Lyra? Will it be Nia? We'll find.
Here we go.
And it's all come down to this, the finals of the 2024 Queen of the Ring Tournament. Jax Valkyria, who will walk out of Saudi Arabia with a crown and a ticket.
Oh, I did not want to do that.
At SummerSlam.
Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to...
And now this is wildly. Lyra goes up over the top. Nia's got a caught, though.
Lyra trying to rely on her technique to bring down the irresistible force, but having no luck at the moment.
I'm not sure this is going to work either.
Jax just entirely too strong, but whoa!
That was interesting.
Oh, nice athleticism by Valkyria. Even Jax might be a little impressed.
I wouldn't go that far, Saxton.
Oh, someone
Here
dropped.
comes Nia, just imposing her will on Lyra Valkyria.
Again, Lyra showing how resourceful she is, applying the sleeper to Nia Jax. Lyra tried to hold on.
And now Nia Jax in control, and she's going to look to put Lyra away. Nobody home, set outside the ring, and Valkyria's got a chance.
Huge window of opportunity. Right now for Lyra Valkyria to strike. Lyra may actually pull this off. Lyra may become queen. Lyra has the advantage. She has Nia reeling.
But Lyra can't win Queen of the Ring with Jax on the outside. This match has to end in the ring.
Lyra Valkyria, one of the best technical wrestlers in NXT Women's Division history.
But the game is about so much more than technique. It's about experience and timing, knowing when to tap into certain parts of your psyche. Nia knows this, and we've seen it for years.
The big question is, does Lyra?
Corey, what do you think is going to be the key in this match for Nia Jax? She certainly made plenty of promises when it comes to being queen of the ring.
What Nia brings to the dance, Cole, is raw power, the likes of which you rarely see from most men, let alone women. Nia has absolutely no problem using that power, and the same goes for her throwing her weight around in the ring. Lyra Valkyria might just learn that the hard way tonight.
Oh.
No!
And Lyra is brought to a disadvantage now.
And the irresistible force is really keeping Valkyria grounded here.
Each woman here is on a tough road to become a Queen of the Ring finalist. Every matchup in this bracket has been a toss-up.
Valkyria knocked off former women's champion Io Sky earlier this week, but Nia's had an even tougher challenge. Two great former champions in the form of Naomi and Bianca Belair.
Even more impressive than that, she handed Jade Cargill her first WWE loss.
Granted, Corey, that was a disqualification victory for Jax. I'd say there's still some unfinished business between Nia and Jade. Turned it around with a reversal.
What a display here. Counters on both sides.
Oh, good gravy. Thrown into the corner with a little something extra.
Jax cannot be overpowered.
Many in the WWE Universe getting their first look at Lyra Valkyria. She's only had 3 main roster matches so far, and they were all in this tournament.
Big wins over Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky over the last 3 weeks. That's an extremely impressive start for Lyra.
What?
Undefeated for 3 weeks? When Nia Jax joined the main roster, she didn't lose a match for over 7 months. And Jax has stayed that dominant for years. Attack with the hips in the corner, and look at this power.
And a feel.
It couldn't have felt good being chucked around like that. Golly, Nia is just cornering Valkyria.
I forgot women can bleed now.
Showing no mercy. I think it's a preview of what kind of queen Nia Jax would be.
The kind of queen that will happily send victims to the guillotine.
And just an uncalled for, underhanded attack there. There's so many moves at Nia's disposal that she can end this match with. For Lyra, not nearly as much.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'll be easy for Valkyria to pick up Nia Jax and drop her with the Nightwing.
Please, let's call the move by its real name. It's a Samoan driver. You think Nia Jax doesn't have the Samoan driver scouted?
Samoan drop. Nia is lighting up her opponent.
Yeah, Nia is just buzzing right through Lyra here.
Nia Jax is doing what? From the top? Oh, way off. That's a big mistake. Valkyria crushed in the corner by Jax.
Squashing Lyra in the corner, in the beginning
Here we go.
of the end may be near. And Nia now, with Lyra on her back, gonna climb up. to the second rope.
This is a scary situation for Lyra. Oh, look at this. Maybe not.
No way. There's no way.
Oh, my.
Oh, no. Good night, Annihilator.
Here is your winner and the new Queen of the Ring,
Let's go.
Nia Jax.
What a victory to the brand new Queen of the Ring.
Nia said she would do it, and she backed up her claims.
And now the Chief Content Officer of WWE and Triple H going to come in to congratulate Nia Jax, officially crown her the Queen of the Ring.
Absolute dominance by the new queen.
And that's going to do it for part 2, ladies and gentlemen.